back, everyone. We're back with the second half of tonight's Snarl card in Phoenix, Arizona. Wally, Johnny, and Tex here with you for more big matches with big names, and of course, it's all leading up to Hotter Than July, Monday night.
We've definitely got some big-time stars on tap in the next hour. And people, you're definitely not going to want to miss any of the second half tonight.
Wally and Johnny are telling the absolute truth, folks. Don't go anywhere because this next hour is really going to be something special.
So let's put it all in motion right away with a non-title Legends division matchup with magnificent Don Morocco locking it up with Mid-Atlantic champion Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Welcome back, fans. Our second half opening contest is a non-title match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, weighing 268 pounds, the magnificent Don Morocco. Morocco comes into this match with Orndorff with some serious salt in his veins, as he was the former Mid-Atlantic champion, and Mr. Wonderful took the belt from him. And while it's changed hands a few times since then, it irks Morocco that Orndorff is back as the top guy with the Mid-Atlantic belt, and he's coming into this one with an eye towards getting it back sometime soon.
And a win over Mr. Wonderful would definitely set him in the right direction.
His opponent from Orlando, Florida, weighing 253 pounds, the RWL Mid-Atlantic champion, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Naturally, everyone's got an opinion on Orndorff, and here's mine. When Stone Cold Steve Austin took the Mid-Atlantic belt from Orndorff, he turned things upside down for the Texas Rattlesnake, attacking relentlessly, getting himself counted out and disqualified in a few matches, till he finally met Austin on his own terms and got the title back. I don't care what Morocco might think, but the only way he'll ever get it back is to beat Orndorff one-on-one cleanly. Otherwise, Orndorff is exactly where he belongs as the top dog.
And no matter what might happen, you can be sure Mr. Wonderful here can be less than wonderful when it comes to defending the Mid-Atlantic belt. He showed that against Stone Cold. So, Morocco had better understand that it won't be an easy go of things.
I think that Don Morocco might have forgotten the days when Paul Orndorff wasn't so well loved and so popular. Well, all right, gents. Let's see what Mr. Morocco and Mr. Orndorff have in store for us. Willie Johnson rings the bell, they come center ring. Collar and elbow tie up. Orndorff whipped to the far corner. Morocco with a big splash takes Mr. Wonderful down to the canvas. Morocco rounds him up. Vertical suplex. Don Morocco with a stomp to the chest. Followed up with a driving knee into the back, and he just kept it there for a second. Flips Orndorff over. Mr. Wonderful shoves him away, back up on his feet. Connects with a kick. Morocco with a hard right. Orndorff whipped to the ropes. Big time collision. Woohoo! Big time knee to the skull. And Mr. Wonderful followed up with another kick to the head. Morocco rounds up Orndorff. Got him up in a front cradle. Orndorff turns it around, counters it into a DDT. Nicely done. Mr. Wonderful catches a shot to the midsection from Morocco. Morocco escorts Orndorff to the ropes. A hard right hand. Orndorff counters with an elbow. A headlock punch. Mr. Wonderful goes behind, nails him with a hard right. Whips Morocco to the corner. Charges. Morocco counters the clothesline. Orndorff spins him around with a hard right, goes behind, rakes the back of Don Morocco, goes behind a second time, nails Morocco with an atomic drop, follows it up with a couple of stomps to the face. Mr. Wonderful, the Mid-Atlantic champion, flips Morocco over, nails him with a set of knuckles to the temple, and Mr. Wonderful looks like he might be turning things around here. And look at this, into an abdominal stretch. A possible submission here as Willie Johnson checks things out. Muraco counters it into a hip toss. Rebounds off the ropes. Fails to connect with the splash. Orndorff got out of the way just in time. Tags him with a jab, a couple of hard rights, a double shot to the midsection. Muraco whip to the far corner. Orndorff tags him with a right. Slams his head into the turnbuckle. Tags him with another right. Slams his head into the turnbuckle yet again. Mr. Wonderful countered by Muraco with an elbow. A right, a left, and a side suplex from Don Muraco. Mr. Wonderful rounded up into an inverted atomic drop. Slammed into the far corner. Don Muraco setting up Mr. Wonderful into the tree of woe. That's not going to be good. A kick to the chest and a boot to the throat. And down goes Mr. Wonderful. Don Muraco looking pretty pleased with himself. A rolling elbow to the chest of Mr. Wonderful. Now, Muraco trash talking him. Tags Orndorff with a series of rights and left and a spinning clothesline that took him down. Here's a cover. One. Barely just a one. Orndorff finding his way out of that one pretty easy. Makes his way out onto the apron using the ropes to get himself back up. Orndorff counters with a forearm. Gets his way back into the ring. Muraco right there to round him up. Scoop slam. And Don Muraco trying to regain control of this matchup. The momentum has shifted a couple of times already from Muraco to Orndorff and back. So now Don Muraco has Mr. Wonderful right where he wants him. Rounds him up. A series of shots, a series of slaps. A fireman's carry from Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff catches a kick to the midsection. Counters with a kick to the midsection. Muraco with a kick to the midsection and a DDT. And here's a cover and a hook of the leg. Oh, but just a one again. Mr. Wonderful not going to give up all that easy. Muraco rounds him up, catches a kick to the midsection from Orndorff. Orndorff whip to the ropes. Big time power slam, and here's another cover. One, two. Hey, well, now Don Muraco making pretty short work of Mr. Wonderful here.
The time, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Don Muraco.
Well, there is an upset win. Don Muraco getting the duke over Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff in this matchup. A non-title matchup, but this might mean that Don Muraco may have an opportunity to regain the Mid-Atlantic title at some point in the near future, probably sometime during the course of the Sweet Revenge Tour. Alright gang, we're going to be right back with more RWL Sn Rl right after the break. Hope you're still here when we get back.
Up next, Cruiserweight competition, as three top RWL Cruiserweights, SP1 Scotty Priest, Lightning Fast Tony Dangerous, and Cruiserweight champ Gary Galaxy do battle in a non-title three-way matchup.
And I'll probably catch a heart attack trying to call it.
This next match is a three-way match set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Statinopolis, weighing 198 pounds, here is the lightning fast Tony Dangerous.
Given the current popularity of Superman and the Fantastic Four in multiplexes everywhere, I've got a good feeling about the defender of Statinopolis, Lightning Fast Tony Dangerous. This former Cruiserweight and Snarl TV champ would like very much to reclaim at least the RWL Cruiserweight belt away from Gary Galaxy, and boy howdy, their rivalry goes back quite a ways, so bank on Tony targeting Galaxy hot and heavy. But he's also got another rival involved in Scotty Priest.
From Glen Burnie, Maryland, weighing 195 pounds, SP1 Scotty Priest.
Scotty Priest, like Tony, at one point also held both the Cruiserweight and Snarl TV titles at the same time, but hasn't held gold for a while now, and is no less driven to regain some back for himself. All three of these guys move fast and hit hard, and in this three-way scenario, there's no DQ, no countouts, so expect a little extra touch of violence between these three heated rivals.
And from Chesapeake, Virginia, weighing 187 pounds, their WO Cruiserweight Champion, the prototype, Gary Galaxy.
Another jewel in the crown of your Ginchy girlfriend, Sylvia Strong, Johnny. The prototype Gary Galaxy has held on to that cruiserweight title with both hands and all 10 toes, and I don't see him giving that up to nobody anytime soon. This is a non-title match, of course, but a win over Gary Galaxy by either Priest or Tony Dangerous is going to carry a hell of a lot of weight moving forward.
Picking a winner here. Very, very tough to call, although I'm still partial to the lightning fast one. But Gary, of course, is the reigning champ, and always likely to claim a pin or tap out for himself. Out of the three, I'd credit Priest with likely being the most aggressive of the three, so he's not an outlier here either. Guess we'll know more once the smoke clears after the final bell.
All right, 3 opponents, no countouts, no disqualifications, no fooling. This ought to be good. Willie Johnson sounds the bell. And here we go. SP1 goes after Tony. Tony goes behind on him. Priest counters with elbows to the midsection of Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy goes behind, jumping neckbreaker on SP1. Scotty Priest catches a clubbing overhand right from the prototype. Prototype nails Tony Dangerous with the right. SP1 off the ropes with a bulldog on Gary Galaxy. Gary Galaxy caught by Tony Dangerous, catches a stomp in the lower belly. SP1 misses with the kick. Tony Dangerous rebounds off the ropes and crashes and burns. Meanwhile, Gary Galaxy rounds up Scotty Priest, hangs him up off the top rope. Tony Dangerous goes with a wheelbarrow DDT on the prototype. Gary Galaxy catches a knee to the arm. A clothesline from SP1 on Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy rolls out to the floor. Scotty Priest goes to work on Tony Dangerous. The prototype on the outside, SP1 going under the apron for a little something extra, comes back with a candlestick. Tony Dangerous doing a little bit of showboat now, catches one in the back with that candlestick from Scotty Priest. Priest disarmed. SP1 delivers a kick to the midsection on Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy back up on his feet and back in action here. Gary Galaxy brains SP1 with that candlestick. Suddenly disarmed, catches a shot in the midsection. Tony Dangerous with a Hurricane Rana on Scotty Priest. Goes behind on Gary Galaxy. German release suplex. SP1 goes to the outside. Beautiful moonsault from Tony Dangerous. Man, these cruiserweights are cool. Oh, man, over the top rope. Taking down Gary Galaxy as SP1 rounds up the cruiserweight champion. Scotty Priest catches some elbows to the midsection from Gary Galaxy. Tony Dangerous with another Hurricane Rana on Gary Galaxy on the outside. Again, no countouts and no DQs. SP1 rolled back into the ring. Tony Dangerous rounded up by Gary Galaxy, driven into the barricade. Catches a kick to the midsection from Tony. SP1 decides to join the fray, comes out, gets caught up from behind by Tony Dangerous, says, "Get back inside that ring, boy." Over the top rope. Tony Dangerous misses with the dropkick. SP1 rebounds off the ropes and a beautiful dropkick takes Tony Dangerous down. SP1 takes himself to the outside. Tony Dangerous stays inside. There's a moonsault on Gary Galaxy, who hasn't moved since. Back up on his feet. Rounds up. SP1 catches a kick to the midsection. Tony crashes and burns as SP1 says he should not have done that. Hard right to Tony Dangerous. Tony counters with a kick to the midsection. Gary Galaxy quickly rounding up Scotty Priest. Pitches Priest into the barricade. Tony Dangerous pitches Gary Galaxy towards the ring steps. Nails SP1 with a right before turning his attention back to Gary Galaxy. Both men miss with their drop kicks. Tony nails him with one running drop kick. Doing a little bit of showing off here. A collision between the two. SP1 still connected to that barricade. Can't seem to get his act together. SP1 still out of action here as Tony Dangerous is rolled back inside the ring by Gary Galaxy. Priest finally comes out of it. Oh, three-way collision practically. Kick to the midsection from Gary. Tony Dangerous opens up with a series of shots. An elbow to the face of Gary Galaxy. Priest goes behind on Galaxy. A suplex with a pin. Oh, man, Tony Dangerous right there to break up that pin. As Gary Galaxy comes out, comes back in for a reset. Tony Dangerous with a kick to the midsection. Winds up the arm on Gary Galaxy, and he's going to take Gary for a little walk off the top rope. Beautiful Japanese arm drag, SP1. Steps out, goes back onto the ring. He has been going after under the ring for all kinds of stuff. Comes back with another candlestick. Here's a cover. But no, SP1 right there to break it up. Gary Galaxy makes his way back to a standing position. Tony Dangerous with a reverse Hurricane Rana on Gary Galaxy as Priest rounds up another candlestick. Gary whips Tony to the ropes. Misses with his move. Priest nails Tony Dangerous not once but twice but 3 times with that candlestick before Gary Galaxy takes him down. Priest covered. 1. But Tony Dangerous right there to break up the pin again. Tony locks up Gary Galaxy. Hard whip to the ropes. Another Hurricane Rana from the lightning fast one. SP1 rounds up Tony Dangerous. Rebounds him off the ropes. Big time spine buster from SP1. That's a heavyweight move from a cruiserweight right there. Gary Galaxy catches a kick to the back from SP1 and a moonsault. Tony Dangerous finally gets his act together. Here's the cover 1. But again, only a 1. Tony Dangerous living up to that lightning fast nickname. Look at this right here. Oh, here we go. Salida del Sol with a cover. Oh, man. Gary Galaxy right there to break that pin up, too. Man. Oh, drop kick takes Tony Dangerous down. Gary Galaxy rounds up Tony Dangerous. Tony counters with a right. SP1 getting back up on his feet. Gary Galaxy whipped to the ropes. Tony Dangerous with a pretty nice move right there, but didn't do too much. Gary Galaxy takes Priest down to the canvas. A flying kick from Tony Dangerous takes Gary Galaxy down as Tony steps out, rounds up one of those kendo sticks. Scotty Priest moves in on Tony, nails him with a right. Pitches him towards the ramp. And again, SP1. Weapon shopping again. Rounds up a chair this time, but catches a Hurricane Rana from Tony. Gary Galaxy still laid out inside the ring. Tony Dangerous with an elbow to the face of Scotty Priest as Gary Galaxy gets back up on his feet. SP1. Oh man, drove him head first into the ring post. I will not sing the song on that one. Gary Galaxy feeling a little bit smug here as Tony Dangerous goes behind on him, winds up both arms. Look at this right here. Whoa! Gary Galaxy countering a bulldog here as SP1 swings that chair, nails Gary Galaxy right in the head. Gary Galaxy laid out as Tony Dangerous goes behind on SP1, gets rolled back inside the ring. SP1. Scotty Priest on a roll here, kick to the midsection of Gary Galaxy. Has him up. Whoa! Beautiful move right there on the outside. Tony Dangerous biding his time, waiting for an opportunity. Gary Galaxy sent towards the ramp, an elbow from Scotty Priest to Tony Dangerous. Tony driven right into the barricades as SP1 rounds up that chair again and starts to go to town. Disarmed quickly by Tony Dangerous. Gary Galaxy rocking and reeling like an inflatable toy in the wind. SP1 with a kick to the midsection to Tony Dangerous. SP1 driven further away from the ring, but there are no countouts, so no big deal. Tony Dangerous goes behind, drops both knees into the back of Gary Galaxy. SP1 back in action here. Sets it up and, oh man, what a nasty shot right there. From SP1 to Tony Dangerous, a drop kick from Gary Galaxy. Galaxy's got the chair now. Rains SP1 across the skull with it. Tony Dangerous rolls Gary back inside the ring. Scotty Priest rolls out of the way of Tony Dangerous, but still catches a flying kick. Gary off the wall, man, he crashes and burns. Gary Galaxy messes up on the high-risk maneuver. SP1 avoiding the middle rope break there. Tony Dangerous goes behind on SP1, drops both knees into his back. Gary Galaxy got that kendo stick again. And Tony quickly disarms him again with another Hurricane Rana. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, almost. That's as near to a near fall as we've had so far. SP1 laid out on the outside. Tony Dangerous rounds up Gary. Look at this. Whoa, Gary Galaxy with a quick sweep of the leg here. Here's a cover. 1, 2, another near fall. But no dice. Tony Dangerous powering out of the pin as Gary Galaxy takes himself out. Whoa, Tony Dangerous through the ropes. Nails Gary Galaxy on the outside, takes him down. SP1 with a beautiful tilt-a-whirl on Tony Dangerous. A standing drop kick from Gary Galaxy on SP1. Tony Dangerous misses with his move. SP1 and Gary Galaxy mixing it up here. Beautiful flipping slam. from Gary. The prototype caught up by Tony Dangerous into a wheelbarrow DDT. Starts going to work on SP1 again. Lines him up. There's a neckbreaker drop on the outside. Galaxy with the kendo stick again, but quickly disarmed. Tony Dangerous nails him with the dangerous measures. Here's a cover and a hook with both legs. 1, 2, 3, and well held now. Tony Dangerous picking up a win in this three-way matchup.
The time, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Tony Dangerous.
Guys, I won't kid you, that was extremely difficult to keep up with. These cruiserweights move so fast. And speaking of moving fast, the lightning fast Tony Dangerous picking up a pretty impressive win in this three-way matchup over cruiserweight champion Gary Galaxy by pinfall, leaving SP1 Scotty Priest out in the cold.
Our resident wrestling superhero picking up a second consecutive win with this match, and he's determined to get himself a title shot against Gary Galaxy, and it looks like Gary may have to concede that Tony Dangerous has earned one after that impressive win in a difficult-to-win triple threat match.
Back with more in a minute.
Up next, I sure hope they reinforce the ring for this battle of super heavyweight tag teams with Bam Bam and the Boss Man, Law and Disorder, set to clash with Ricky Shifatu and Samoa Joe.
The following tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 688 pounds, the team of Bam Bam Bigelow and the Big Boss Man Law and Disorder.
Guys, I'll tell you what, it's been a lean couple of weeks for the Big Boss Man and Bam Bam Bigelow, who can't seem to buy their way into winning a match. I don't know how well they're going to do against Rikishi and Samoa Joe either.
Actually, both these teams go into this match in need of a win, since Rikishi and Joe haven't exactly been wiping the floor with their most recent opponents. The match is likely to get really nasty, especially with the massive size, weight, and power of All for Men.
True, but if I have to make a choice as to which team I think has the better chance, it's got to be Law and Disorder.
Their opponents, at a combined weight of 679 pounds, Ricky Shifatu and Samoa Joe.
Mr. Nicole Rikishi and the Samoan submission machine have now firmly established themselves as a cohesive unit, more than capable of dealing with most opponents, but Bam Bam and Boss Man aren't most opponents. This super heavyweight tag team collision is bound to get out of hand, especially given the history of Law and Disorder. Rikishi and Joe will have to stay on the attack and never slow down once the momentum shifts towards their side.
Well, the fans here in Phoenix certainly seem to be favoring Rikishi and Joe. Did you hear how loud they got the minute these two came down the ramp?
I know, they're pretty freaking loud now.
Alright, in this battle of super heavyweights, going to be the Big Boss Man and Rikishi Fatu starting things off on this one. As referee Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. Uh-oh. Mr. Kanamura almost catching some trouble here, but rescued by Rikishi Fatu. Boss Man up against the ropes. Taken up, hung up on the top rope. Referee Tom Kanamura gets back on his feet. Here comes Samoa Joe on the tag. Boss Man laid out center ring right in the heart of the logo. Joe rounds him up. Boss Man counters with a hard right, a chop to the throat. Joe whipped to the ropes. Boss Man misses with the elbow. Joe puts on the brakes. They lock up again. Up over their shoulders in a fireman's carry. And Samoa Joe, snake eyes, head first into the turnbuckle, seated in the corner as the Boss Man starts to push some of that weight into the throat of Samoa Joe. Big Boss Man rounds up Samoa Joe by the throat and just pitches him towards his team's corner. Man. Big Boss Man rounds up Samoa Joe. Joe counters with a series of elbows. Backs the Boss Man off. Hard chop across the chest. A jab, a chop. Boss Man counters. Kick to the midsection from Samoa Joe. They lock it up again. Up and down into an inverted atomic drop. Joe rebounds off the ropes. A running kick to the face of the boss man and a senton for good measure. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. Damn, he's fast. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. But a 2 count that early on. Well, I guess that ain't bad. Samoa Joe facing around. Makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Boss man is laid out, but starting to stand. Bam Bam Bigelow trying to stop Joe, but no use anyway. Misses with the drop kick. Boss man gathers up Samoa Joe into a vertical suplex. Follows it up with a stomp. The big boss man rounds up Samoa Joe again. Takes him to the Law and Disorder's corner. But Samoa Joe seems to be fighting him. Delivers a series of elbows to the midsection. Backs off the boss man again. Charges in a clothesline. Down goes the big boss man. And here comes Rikishi Fatu. Boss man just about standing up again. They lock up. Rikishi drives a knee into the midsection. They lock up again. Rikishi Fatu. He's got him up, takes him to the corner, pays him back with the snake eyes of his own. And here comes Samoa Joe again. A lot of fast tags in this matchup as Bam Bam Bigelow comes in too. A jab, a chop, a kick, and a DDT from Samoa Joe on Bam Bam. Follows up with a couple of stomps and kicks. Samoa Joe tags out again. Here comes Rikishi one more time. Chop across the chest, a quick jab to the midsection. Rikishi Fatu's got Bam Bam up, vertical suplex. Followed up with a series of stomps. Bam Bam puts on the brakes, turns it into a dragon screw. Quickly back up on his feet, Bam Bam Bigelow. Showing off some of that power, the Beast of the East has him all the way up. Rikishi Fatu way in the middle of the air here. And boom, slammed right down to the canvas. Bam Bam Bigelow going right back to work. Delivers a stomp to the shoulder. Misses with the splash. Rikishi rolling out of the way pretty quick. Rikishi rounds up Bam Bam Bigelow. Sidewalk slam as the big boss man finally makes it to a standing position on the outside. A leg drop across the shoulder of Bam Bam Bigelow. Again, Rikishi tags out, and here comes Samoa Joe. The Samoan submission machine moves in, delivers a stomp to the midsection, a kick to the back. Bam Bam Bigelow catches a set of hard right hands right to the face from Samoa Joe. Joe with a shoulder claw, but too close to the ropes, the ref calls for the break. Bam Bam Bigelow counters with a jawjacker, and a clothesline takes down Samoa Joe. Bam Bam Bigelow behind with the arm, has him up, slammed him down hard. Bam Bam rounds up Samoa Joe again. Has him all the way up, hangs him up off the top rope. Bam Bam Bigelow goes back to work, rounds up Samoa Joe again. Locks him up, collar and elbow. Tries to take him to the Law and Disorder corner, finally gets him in there. And Bam Bam's calling for the clothesline. Boom, there it is. And down goes Samoa Joe. Bam Bam Bigelow really starting to show off here. He's got Samoa Joe all the way up now, too. Oh, man. And down goes Samoa Joe. Face first into the mat. Followed up with a stomp to the back. Here comes the big boss man again on the tag. Boss man pacing around a little bit here, figuring out what his next move is going to be. Takes himself to the outside apron. Samoa Joe misses with the jab. Locks up. The big boss man has him up over. Oh, man, what a nasty slam right there, right on his head. Samoa Joe rounds up boss man. Winds him up. Has him up over the shoulders. Oh, man. Slams both knees into the canvas. Joe rounds up boss man. Winds up the arm again. Has him up. He's going to do it again. Another driver into the knee of the big boss man. As Samoa Joe beats it out of town, and here comes Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi moves right in on the boss man. Starts dribbling his head against the canvas like a basketball. Follows that up with a stomp and a kick. Rikishi gathers boss man up again, has him locked up. escorts him towards his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the big boss man. Boss man counters with an elbow, finds his way out of the corner. Nails him with a right that spins him around. Rikishi for two. Catches a headbutt right to the back of the head from the boss man. Here comes Bam Bam Bigelow again. A lot of frequent tags in this match. Rikishi up over the shoulders of Bam Bam Bigelow. Has him all the way. Oh, man. Slammed him down out onto the floor. Rikishi for two. Definitely caught all of that one as Bam Bam Bigelow, with his back turned to Rikishi for two. Probably not a good idea. They lock up. Rikishi whipped out onto the apron again by Bam Bam. A hard right hand to the head. A second one. Bahoo. A quick counter from Rikishi for two. They lock up. Oh, man. Series of rib breakers from Bam Bam Bigelow and then tossed aside. Followed up with another stomp. Rikishi for two. Escapes the driving knee. Rounds up Bam Bam Bigelow into a backbreaker. And Rikishi beating it out of town again. Here comes Samoa Joe, and here comes the big boss man. Fresh partners all the way around. A jab, a chop. A chop back from the boss man. A shot to the throat. Boss man with Samoa Joe up over the shoulder, hung up on the top rope again. These super heavyweights do not fool around. Here's a big shove from Samoa Joe. Follows up with a stomp to the arm of the boss man, a stomp to the midsection. Samoa Joe with a chop, another chop, a third chop, a hard right, and a spinning back fist to the boss man. Whoa, man, look at this. Oh, man. Wicked series of shots. Samoa Joe covers and hooks the leg. One. But boss man reaching out for that bottom rope instinctively. Rikishi for two. Decides to intercede here. Takes himself back out. Samoa Joe gets a hold of boss man, but boss man counters with a series of elbows. Moves in and a running DDT on Samoa Joe center ring. The big boss man catches a knee from Samoa Joe. Joe winds him up, has him up over the shoulders again. He's gonna wear them knees out. That's the third time he's used that move. Hard kick to the back of the big boss man. Samoa Joe rounds up the boss man again. Takes him to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle he goes. Here comes Rikishi on the tag, and here comes a double team. A snapmare, a rebound off the ropes, and a kick to the face from Rikishi. Oh, man. Squashed his rear. Bam Bam Bigelow is still out of it on the outside. Rikishi for two. Rounds him up. Another sidewalk slam from Rikishi. Rikishi for two. Catches a kick to the head from the big boss man. Followed up with a splash. Bam Bam Bigelow finally gets himself up to a standing position. Another splash from the boss man on Rikishi. As boss man takes himself out of town, tags in Bam Bam Bigelow. Rikishi for two. Slowly makes his way back to a standing position. A running clothesline out of no place. Down goes Bam Bam Bigelow. Here comes Samoa Joe again. Samoa Joe with a hard right spins Bam Bam around. Bam Bam counters with an elbow, charges with a shoulder tackle, takes him down. Gathers Samoa Joe up again. Locks him up, has him up over the shoulder, walks him to the other side of the ring, and hangs him up off the top rope yet again. Bam Bam Bigelow locks up Samoa Joe, has him in a front cradle. And whoa, nasty fall-away slam from Bam Bam Bigelow. Bigelow gonna drag Samoa Joe towards center. Gathers him up over the shoulder again. Turns him around. Oh, man. Reverse dominator. And here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, two. But Rikishi for two. There to make the save. And Samoa Joe saved himself too. Well, now. With this, Rikishi eyeballing Bam Bam Bigelow. Takes himself back out. Samoa Joe struggling to get to his feet. Here comes the big boss man on the tag. Joe locks up the boss man. Here's a snapmare, a chop across the back of the head, and a kick to the chest. And the big boss man makes his way back to a standing position as Rikishi is tagged in again. Rikishi locks up the boss man. Hard whip to the far corner. A kick to the gut. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about to see Rikishi for two do his thing. Oh, man. A stink face to the big boss man. As if being busted open and bleeding wasn't bad enough. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, man. A 2 7/8. Bossman found his way out of that pin somehow. Not sure how he did it. Rikishi whips the Bossman to the other corner. Bossman counters with an elbow. He's not going to catch another stink face if he can help it. Oh, hard shot to the midsection from Bossman. Rikishi puts on the brakes, nails him with a headbutt. Rikishi's got him up, a backbreaker to the big Bossman. Rikishi for 2 steps out. Here comes Samoa Joe again. Big Bossman still laid out. An elbow across the chest from Samoa Joe. Bossman counters with a kick to the head, gets back up on his feet and beats it out of town. Here comes Bam Bam Bigelow again. Rikishi for 2 stands center ring waiting for him. Puts on the brakes, delivers a kick to the leg. A chop across the chest of Bam Bam Bigelow. Bigelow being escorted to his team's corner. Slams Bam Bam into the corner. Turns him around, drives his head into the buckle again. A chop across the chest from Samoa Joe and another one. Here's a tag and a double team from Rikishi and Joe. Oh, man, flip over neck whip, a kick to the back. As Rikishi for 2 pitches Bam Bam Bigelow across the ring by his ankle. And now dragging a face down Bam Bam Bigelow towards center, turns him over. Rikishi going for the cover. 1. But just the 1 this time. Rikishi for 2. Goes back to work, rounds up Bam Bam Bigelow again. Catches the knee to the midsection. Drives the knee into the midsection of Bam Bam Bigelow. These guys meeting each other shot for shot. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Bam Bam. Bam Bam counters with the right, gets out of the corner, gets a hold of Rikishi for 2. Has him up. There's a nasty backbreaker. And now Bam Bam stretching the vertebrae of Rikishi. Bam Bam Bigelow gathers him up again, gets a hold of him, has him up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry, takes him towards the corner, hangs him up off the top rope again. That move is going to see a lot of action tonight. Bam Bam Bigelow locks up Rikishi. Again trying to take him to his team's corner, head first into the buckle, goes Rikishi for 2, catches a hard right from Bam Bam Bigelow. The leg draped over the middle rope and a kick to the calf of Rikishi. Bam Bam, a hard right, takes down Rikishi for 2, follows it up with a stomp. Rounds up Rikishi for 2. Rikishi counters with a knee to the midsection. Locks up Bam Bam Bigelow, has him up over the shoulders. Takes him to the corner, snake eyes, head first into the turnbuckle, goes Bam Bam Bigelow. Bigelow escorted out of the corner the hard way by Rikishi for 2. Rikishi pitches Bam Bam across the ring by his ankle. Here comes Samoa Joe again. And Bam Bam Bigelow looking like he's in a little bit of trouble here. Samoa Joe stalking Bam Bam Bigelow. He's got him. He's got him in the sleeper. And going all the way with it. The boss man saving his partner and saving the match for his team. Joe rolls him over and covers. 1, 2. Another near fall. Bam Bam Bigelow finding his way out of danger here. Rikishi for 2 watching as Samoa Joe escorts Bam Bam to the corner. Head first into the turnbuckle he goes. A headbutt from Samoa Joe. But Bam Bam counters and escapes the corner. A jab from Joe, a chop across the chest, a counter chop from Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam escorts Joe to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. And a series of driving elbows to the side of the head of Samoa Joe. Joe rounded up one more time. Bam Bam's got him up, pitches him up over the shoulder, slams him right back down the canvas. He liked it so much, I think he's going to do it again. Turns him around. There's that reverse dominator again. Slams Joe right into the canvas again. As Bam Bam drags Joe center ring, covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Another very, very near fall. Both Bam Bam and the boss man are both busted open. Here comes the big boss man again on the tag as Samoa Joe makes it to his feet. Misses with the swing. Hard shot to the midsection from the boss man. Boss man locks Joe up. Hard whip to the far corner. Joe counters with an elbow. Moves in. They collide with no result. They lock up. Inverted atomic drop right to the nether regions of Samoa Joe. The big boss man Takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Rikishi for 2 trying to put a stop to things, but it's... Oh, here he goes. He succeeded in doing it. Boss Man taken down to the canvas. Samoa Joe still laid out as Boss Man rounds him up. This match has gone quite a way so far and still no sign of a winner. Boss Man gauges the weight, and there's a big vertical suplex to Samoa Joe. Boss Man moves in again. Clubbing overhand right. Samoa Joe counters. Slams Boss Man face down into the canvas by his arm. Here comes Rikishi again. Big Boss Man. To a throat chop across the throat of Rikishi for 2. Locks him up. Hard shot to the midsection from the Boss Man. Winds it up. There's that big Popeye the Sailor Man punch to Rikishi. And here comes Bam Bam Bigelow again. Rikishi locks up Bam Bam Bigelow. Big time belly-to-belly suplex. Misses with the splash. Bam Bam Bigelow rounds him up. Whoa, look at this. Nice sunset flip from Rikishi. 1, 2. Oh, just the 2. Rikishi moves in on Bam Bam Bigelow. Kick to the midsection and DDT. Rikishi tags in Samoa Joe. Bam Bam Bigelow just getting to his feet. Kick to the midsection from Bam Bam. He's got a hold of Samoa Joe. He's got him all the way up for the powerbomb, and he nails it. Beautiful sit-out powerbomb from Bam Bam Bigelow, who covers and hooks the leg center ring. 1, 2. Again, another very near fall. Man, this match has been nuts. They lock up again. Bam Bam's got him up over the shoulder. Big time fly swatter to Samoa Joe. Here comes the Boss Man with 2 minutes left to go. Something's got to give at this point. The big Boss Man stalking Samoa Joe. Boss Man slam. This could do it right here. 1, 2. But, oh man, shut up. Samoa Joe getting that left shoulder up just in the nick of time. Boss Man getting a little frustrated. Rounds up Samoa Joe. Hurls him halfway across the ring by his throat. Boss Man rounds him up again. Rikishi watching a Samoa Joe cracks him one side up the head. Boss Man with a knee to the midsection. Samoa Joe refusing to be escorted to the corner again. Another series of elbows to the Boss Man. Samoa Joe rounds him up, slams him down, and here's a cover with a hook of the leg, but too close to the ropes. Referee Tom Canamora says he's got to start all over again. He's going to turn it over to Rikishi. 1 minute left. Kick to the head from the Boss Man. Neither of these teams is quitting. Rikishi being escorted to the Law and Disorder corner. Counters and escapes the corner. Gets a hold of the Boss Man. Boss Man with a back body drop on Rikishi. A stomp to the midsection, a kick to the chest. And the big Boss Man takes himself up to the middle rope. Big time cross body splash across Rikishi. Rikishi rounded up. A right, a left, a kick to the midsection, and a DDT with less than 30 seconds to go at this point. Boss Man tags in Bam Bam Bigelow. Rikishi for 2. Laid out center ring and not moving. Stomp to the midsection, a kick to the chest from Bam Bam. Misses with the splash. Rikishi back up on his feet. Charges. Takes Bam Bam down to the clothesline. And here comes Samoa Joe again, and we are rapidly running out of time here. Hard shot, but a kick to the midsection, and there's the bell. Oh well.
The time limit has expired. This match is declared a time limit draw.
A most disappointing outcome. We'll be back with our main event right after the break.
Tonight's main event. Okay, these two have met twice before, with the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal picking up both wins. Tonight, will Jinder make it 3 in a row against the one and only Hulk Hogan?
Tonight's Snarl main event is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from the Punjab in India, weighing 234 pounds, he's the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal.
The story behind this one started with their first clash 9 months ago, with Mahal scoring the win and drawing first blood. Their second was just a month ago, and again, Jinder Mahal picked up the win in that match by submission. It would seem like the modern-day Maharaja has had the Hulkster's number, but nevertheless, Hulk Hogan returns tonight, the never-give-up spirit in full force. But can he avoid falling to Jinder Mahal for a third time tonight?
Naturally, I'd love to see Jinder get his comeuppance here, but with 2 wins under his belt already, Hulk Hogan is starting out with 2 strikes against him. He's either gonna have to knock it out of the park or face the embarrassing possibility of falling to Mahal yet again. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it, but naturally, I wouldn't mind seeing it happen.
And his opponent from Venice Beach, California, weighing 287 pounds, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Oh baby, would you listen to this place come alive for Hulk Hogan? He remains recognized as one of the biggest stars of not, the biggest star this sport has ever generated. He's wrestled the biggest names in some of the biggest matches in history, body slamming Andre the Giant, defeating the Iron Sheik to become world champion. Literally, the father of WrestleMania, and he's always had his fans, his Hulkamaniacs, backing him up every step of the way. But he's gonna need all the fan support they can muster to get past Jinder Mahal in tonight's main event. I'm right there with you, Johnny. Not that I dislike Jinder Mahal, just that I'd love to see the Hulkster not face that embarrassing possibility of dropping 3 matches in a row to the modern-day Maharaja. And judging by the noise factor in the building, there's more than a few Hulkamaniacs here tonight.
And his RWL run has been, well, it's had its ups and its downs. Came in as a monster, working with Scott Bell, turned his back on Too Short, and he's been trying to get back some kind of vindication ever since. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it tonight, but if he does, I think this place is going to blow. Let's find out if Jinder can make it 3 in a row, or if Hulk Hogan can finally break the streak. Referee Willie Johnson rings the bell. They charge Jinder with a running kick, takes Hulkster down to the canvas. Mahal runs him up into a DDT, drops him right on the crown of his head. Jinder whips Hogan to the ropes, ducks under, and off. Oh man, what a nasty spine buster from Jinder Mahal. Jinder winds it up. Hogan dodges the kick. The knee to the hip. Hulkster, look at this. Military press slam from Hulk Hogan. A stomp to the chest and face of Jinder Mahal. Hogan rounds him up. Discus punch takes Jinder Mahal down to the canvas. The Hulkster with a stomp to the arm. A stomp to the arm again. And a stomp to the back of the head of Jinder Mahal. Hogan drives a knee into the head of Jinder. Jinder rounded up again. Hulkster bobbing and weaving over here. Hard whip for Jinder. A collision with no result. They lock up again. Hulk Hogan's got him up on our front cradle. Has him up over the shoulder. Hangs him up off the top rope. Down goes Jinder Mahal center row. The Hulkster covers. 1. Only a 1. Jinder Mahal quickly getting out of the pin. Hulkster catches an elbow to the midsection. A jumping neck breaker from Jinder Mahal. The modern-day Maharaja catches a kick to the head. The Hulkster spins him around with a hard right. Jinder counters with an elbow and another running kick. Takes Hogan down to the canvas again. Jinder misses with the drop kick. Hogan doesn't. Nails Jinder with that running drop kick. Jinder steps to the outside and he is still reeling. Just snapping out of it, makes his way back in. Hogan misses with the high-risk maneuver, just a step too late. Hogan taking his time. Up, stopping to warm up the crowd a little bit. Jinder Mahal certainly didn't appreciate that. Willie Johnson trying to keep him back as the Hulkster makes his way back inside the ring. Locks it up with Jinder Mahal. Has him up on the front cradle. Takes him to the far corner. Rock slams his back into the buckle and spins him out center ring. Hogan, with a hard right, spins Jinder around again. Jinder counters with an elbow and another jumping neckbreaker to the Hulkster. Jinder Mahal counters with another kick and another running knee right to the head of Hulkster. Slams his head down to the canvas. Jinder Mahal follows it up with a stomp. And now a big time kick to the chest. Jinder Mahal starting to pull away here as far as momentum goes. Oh, Hogan puts on the brakes. Jinder counters. A chop, another chop, a third chop, a kick to the midsection, followed up with a DDT. Jinder Mahal looking like he's in control at the present time. Takes himself up to the top turnbuckle. Here we go. Drives a knee right into the chest of the Hulkster. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg here. Oh man. Hulkster powering out of the pin. Jinder spins him around with a hard right, goes behind. Hulk Hogan counters with an elbow, moves in on Jinder Mahal, locks him up, catches a kick to the midsection from Jinder, a running clothesline. Takes the Hulkster down to the canvas. Jinder Mahal gouging the face of Hulk Hogan. These two definitely do not like each other, not one little bit. Hulkster rolls out to the outside. Jinder Mahal moves in on him. Another rising knee right to the head of Hulk Hogan. Hogan slammed to the floor. Hulkster counters with a kick. Gets back up on his feet. Rounds up the modern day Maharaja. Gets a hold of him and rolls him back inside the ring. Again. Hogan doing that hot dogging that he does so well. Jinder comes on out. Hogan spins him around with another right. Look at this. A sleeper hold on the outside. Won't get a submission, but he's going to wear Jinder Mahal down if he can. Willie Johnson already counting. There's a jawjacker from Jinder Mahal. Leaves Hogan reeling against the apron. Jinder gets him back inside the ring. Moves in. Hulk Hogan back on his feet, charges. Misses with the clothesline. Puts on the brakes on the kick on Jinder. Jinder shoves him away. Hogan charges again. Winds up into a drop toe hold. And here we go. Right into the camel clutch. Looking for a submission on the Hulkster. Shades of the Iron Sheik here. As the Hulkster powers his way out, slips out the back door, takes Jinder Mahal down to the canvas. Locks him up again. Hard whip over the rope onto the apron. Hung up on the top rope, out onto the floor goes Jinder Mahal. Hulk Hogan slides out. Locks him up. Jinder counters with a kick to the midsection and another jumping neckbreaker from Jinder Mahal. The modern day Maharaja fails to connect with the knee. Hulk Hogan tags him with a clothesline. Referee Willie Johnson already counting. Hogan misses with the drop kick. Jinder misses with the drop kick. Whoa, now. Both these guys moving pretty quick. Jinder back inside the ring. Ditto Hulk Hogan. Hogan counters with a series of elbows. Backs off Jinder Mahal. Oh man, what a kick to the face. As Hogan covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Only a 2. And Hulk Hogan can't believe it. Well, Jinder Mahal back up on his feet. Hogan scoop slams him. Here's the rebound off the rope, and there's the leg drop. This could be it right here. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, but just a 2. Again, Jinder Mahal finding his way out of danger here. Jinder counters, gets back up on his feet. Hogan spins him around with a hard right, goes behind on him. Classic wrestling takedown, takes Jinder Mahal down to the canvas. Hogan rounds him up again. Another discus punch that sends Jinder Mahal flying. Hogan up on the top rope, misses with the elbow drop. Jinder Mahal finally back to a standing position as Hulk Hogan whips him back into the far corner. Jinder counters with an elbow, escapes the corner. Hogan locks him up again. Gets a hold of him. Look at this. Whoa, a choke slam from Hulk Hogan, and there's something we do not see every day. The Hulkster countered by Jinder Mahal. Hogan back on his feet, spun around with a hard right from Jinder. And there it is. That one-arm slam, the callus from Jinder Mahal. 1, 2. But again, Hulk Hogan powering out of the pin. Jinder Mahal extremely frustrated. Looked like he's about to have a temper tantrum. Okay. Jinder Mahal gets the leg swept by Hulk Hogan. Hogan beating his head against the canvas. Follows it up with a stomp to the chest. Jinder Mahal gathered up again by Hulk Hogan, and a third discus punch takes Jinder Mahal down to the mat. Hulk Hogan locks in a heel hook stretch on the modern day Maharaja. Jinder Mahal starting to lose momentum here. Might be losing a little bit of steam too. Hulk Hogan gathers him up. A right chop. Gets him by the throat again. Another choke slam from Hulk Hogan. Down now. Jinder Mahal makes his way to the standing position in the far corner. Catches a right from Hogan. Hulkster. Oh, here we go. 10 turnbuckle shots to the head for Jinder Mahal. And down he, oh man, he is out of it. Hulkster rolls him over, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, shut up. Hulk Hogan picking up a win over the modern day Maharaja by pinfall.
The time, 7 minutes and 53 seconds. And your winner by pinfall, Hulk Hogan.
Man alive, would you just listen to this house in Phoenix? Absolutely going wild here, as the Hulkster finally gets some measure of vindication from Jinder Mahal with a 3-count pinfall win. And that's one of the reasons Hulk Hogan will forever be the Babe Ruth of pro wrestling. An awesome and long overdue win for Hogan, and it sure sounds like the fans are happy for the Hulkster. Yes indeed, Hulkamania has gripped this crowd as the Immortal One takes himself a little victory lap here, and I'm sure he's just got to be feeling better after finally scoring a win over the modern day Maharaja.
You know what, guys? I don't think we need to say anymore. I say we just allow the Hulkster to have his moment here.
Certainly stacked against him and successfully avoiding dropping a third match to Jinder Mahal. And man, he used a few tricks we hadn't seen previously. Guess he damn sure came prepared for this encounter. Wrapping up Jinder in just under 8 minutes this time. Great win for the Immortal One.
What a way to put the cap on tonight's card. That's it for this edition of our Rwl Sn Rl. And as always, we want to thank all of you for watching, spending some time with us, and for supporting our WL Wrestling. Okay, so Rage will be preempted Monday night, but be sure to join us for the hotter than July Supercard, because it's gonna be, well, very hot. For Tex and Johnny, this is Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe, and we'll see you next Saturday.